Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 74th episode of the Unnamed Cop Show. This would be the April 2012 episode,
Yes,
and we're happy to be back. Aren't we happy?
we are happy. Today's the first day of spring, I believe, isn't it?
Today is the first day of spring. We got a very nice reminder from someone over at City Hall this morning. Can we mention her name? Do we remember who it was from?
Yes, it was from Linda Kelly.
Linda Kelly sent us a very nice happy spring email, so that was nice.
Thank you,
So,
Linda.
winter's over, spring is here, and we have a lot to talk about today. So thank you for watching. And today on our show, we're going to talk about what to expect when you contact the dispatch center, because every day I get phone calls from people who are concerned or complaining or have questions about their contacts with dispatch center. So we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about the community policing meeting we had at the high school last month, where about 250 to 300 of you showed up, which was fantastic. We are going to talk about, what do you have to talk about, Jim?
Spring cleaning.
Spring cleaning. We're going to talk about spring cleaning. We have a special guest, Chaplain Miller is with us today, and so he's going to talk about what his duties are as a chaplain and talk about whatever it is that he chooses to talk about. And we have Aaron Begley from the Senior Center, of course, talking about, what are you going to talk about today?
The Senior Center.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay, so let's get started, and I would like to introduce, we might as well just introduce Chaplain Miller right off the bat,
Let's do that.
he's up here, and I'm sure his time is valuable. So this is Chaplain Paul Miller. He's been the chaplain for Desert Hot Springs Police Department since the late 90s, I believe 15 or so years, is that correct?
1997.
In 1997, so he's seen some things, and what's the name of your church?
Christ Lutheran.
Chaplain Miller is Pastor Miller for his congregation at Christ Lutheran Church, and they are building a
brand new facility on West Pearson in West Desert Hot Springs.
West in Pearson and West Desert Hot Springs.
Yes, we're renaming that portion of the city.
I see. Does the city know about this?
We're renaming that portion of the city.
Okay. You get to. You can do that. You have the ultimate authority.
Right. We appeal to a higher authority.
Exactly. So, Chaplain Miller, tell us about what it is that a chaplain does, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, a chaplain is not a specific pastor of a congregation or church when he's in the role of chaplaincy. He volunteers, in this case, some chaplains in some larger departments, they're on staff. A chaplain is a support system for the police department and for its personnel and for people associated with that department. Some people misunderstand the role of chaplain as if he or she should be the available strictly for the community, on call for a death notification or to be at the bedside or a traffic issue. But the initial role of the chaplain is to be available to you folks, to all those who serve, in this case, Desert Hot Springs, both in the offices as volunteers even, and also on the streets. And so my role is to be a support person. I do ride-alongs for the purpose of having conversation, or at least having opportunity for conversation. One of the little interesting things in my role as a chaplain is that the challenge for me is to overcome the idea that I'm a pipeline to the chief. So I get to sit in the car and watch every move that this officer's making and doing, and so that in case something goes awry, I can get on the phone. No, it's not the way it works at all. In fact, when I came on board, especially with Chief Williams, we had that conversation, and I reaffirmed that the position of the chaplain is confidential conversation inside that car, to a certain extent, of course. And he wholeheartedly agreed with that. And that's basically what chaplain's role consists of in that regard. So I'm there to provide support. One of the interesting things about being a chaplain and also being a pastor, since I am a pastor at Christ Lutheran Church, Desert Hot Spring,
West Desert Hot Springs.
West, yes, is that most pastors are pastors because they like to lead. They like to be in control. They want to be in charge.
Sort of like police officers.
That's the point.
That's
So
where
when you
you're
have a
going.
chaplain, a pastor, if a pastor's not a chaplain, and he's sitting in the car, he's going to kind of edge over toward the driver's seat if he can. Whereas a chaplain does not do that. He maintains who he is in his role as servant, as there as a simply as a help. I tell folks when I ride along that you tell me when to stand, sit, shut up, talk. I have no problems with that. And sometimes, as I say, not all really can be chaplain, because that's a hard place to be for a pastor many times.
Have you wanted to jump out and take the appropriate action on occasion?
No. I learned a long time ago. I've been doing this since 1990 with Anaheim Police Department. I was one of 5 other local pastors that began their chaplaincy in 1990 under then Chief Joseph Malloy, who unfortunately passed away rather suddenly.
Yes, he did.
Early. And so then I moved to Desert Hot Springs in 1995, basically, and became pastor of Christ Lutheran Church. But again, when the City Council decided on to act on the recommendation of the Blue Ribbon Committee of 1996 to start again their own PD, that I offered my services to the first then hired chief, and then just began to serve, and then of course off and on over the years I've been able to do that. But that point is that being a chaplain versus a pastor in that situation, you still perform pastoral duties. In other words, if there's an issue or a concern, many times I've done things like hold the hand of the family of a traffic victim that has been called on scene, and naturally the police are not there to hold the hands, and I don't mean that disparagingly, but their role is to get the facts and figures, Joe
Right.
Friday. And so, chaplain, would you go and wait with the family? And they're broken up, and when I'm introduced as the chaplain, many times then that brings a different feeling to what's going on, and I can stay with them until the police are free to then have conversation with the family if that is the case. I've also been in situations, especially in Anaheim, fortunately not here, where one incident, waiting for the coroner to come at a terrible traffic, and when he came, all the police were doing their reporting, and so, chaplain, come here. And so I had to hold the sheet of this very mangled, unfortunately mangled motorcycle victim. And anyway, that was rather a sobering experience for me, and that was early on in my chaplaincy. In any event, the main privilege that I have is being here for you folks, and that's all I want to be.
A couple things. The value of having you out there when it is required, it's invaluable to be able to turn something over to you, because you're right. We have to deal with whatever just happened. And a lot of times we don't have the resources to console and to handhold. And so to have a chaplain out there, such as yourself, is an invaluable experience. And also, I might say, Chaplain Miller comes to all of our events, all of our swearing-ins, all of our receptions, and it's just nice to see you at all of our events and supporting us. Today, we actually had an audit from the Department of Justice on our COPS program. We have one officer hired with COPS funds, and Chaplain Miller was kind enough to join the citizens group that was there to talk to the auditor. So it's those kind of things that we really, truly appreciate that you do. Mm-hmm. Do you have, would you like to tell us anything about your new building and how are you doing with that?
Well,
and where are you at?
Since you asked and have forced me to,
Of course.
we have been on the corner, just off the corner of Cactus and Estrella since 1961. That's a long time ago, by the way, Jim. And
Jim remembers. He was around.
In any event, we have been able to, we had in the meantime been able to purchase some acreage over on Pearson, the other side of Little Morongo Road, between Little Morongo and Indian. And so in 2005, we dedicated that property for construction. And in 2010, it took us that long to clear all the hurdles. We broke ground April 11th, 2010. And now, almost 2 years later, we're hoping this summer to relocate into our new facility. It'll be an upgrade that goes from seating 130 to 220. And we will be poised for growth. As you know, a few years ago, things kind of slowed down. We looked at West Desert Hot Spring going, wow, look at that. You've got the Skyborn project going out there, and they're buying homes, and everybody's excited, and all these other small projects and other projects.
And then,
But that's okay, because it gave us time to really get our act together, our ducks in the order, and all those other cliches.
it's all part of the master plan.
Well, it's part of the plan, that's for sure.
right.
And so we're excited. We're looking forward to having a number of grand openings. You know, I guess I'm learning from being in the city. You have soft openings and then another softer, harder opening. And I'm not sure how that works. I've never been involved. Going into my 32nd year of being a pastor, ordained. And so in all my years, I've never been involved in this. I should have done this like 30 years ago when I was still young like some folks, but it didn't work out that way.
Well, what's this young thing you got going on with me? I like it.
Well, no, that's good.
You keep it up.
Okay, son, it's not bad.
Well, I just want to add that as the chaplain coordinator, you have been a pleasure to work with and to have on staff.
Thank you.
And I did catch the pitch for the paid staff position. Don't think that got over my head there,
Well,
as young as I am.
win if you lose if you
Right. Also, I don't know if many of you knew it, but I was also a chaplain for several years at Desert Regional Medical Center. And Paul and I are going to go to chaplain school together in June, I believe it is, for a week.
And that's post
It's
Post-
Yes.
police officer standards and
Training.
training, certified
certified. That's the word I was
chaplain
looking for.
training. So, I mean, it's stuff I think that we both have had before, but it's great to be able to go for a refresher. And
That is exciting.
for me, we'll see where that goes too. So
Yes.
I'm excited
Excellent.
to go.
So
All right. Well, I want to thank you very much for coming by and for being on the show. He asked 3 or 4 months ago, and we haven't been able to connect, and today we did, so I'm glad we did.
well,
So,
thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming
it was,
on.
It was a pleasure being had.
All right. Thank you.
We'll have
Okay.
you again.
All right. I would like to segue into Aaron.
Oh,
Hi,
yay.
Aaron.
What, Aaron?
Hi.
Welcome back. You
Thank
came
you.
back.
Thank you.
Thank you for being with us. I don't know why she keeps coming back.
That's what Chief would have said. You came back. Thank you.
So what's
I
going
gotta
on
get
at the
my
Senior
word
Center?
out, even if it's to hang out with you guys. It's worth it.
Whatever it takes,
People
right?
watch.
Go ahead and let us know what's going on.
Okay.
Exciting things.
Aaron Bagley, Family Service Association, and the center manager for the Desert Hot Springs Senior Center. We had a fabulous March, still in it, but we had a couple of fun activities. We had Collectibles Day at the beginning of March, and and we had collections, stamps, baseball cards, salt cellars, bottles, mermaids. And it,
Collected mermaids.
They were out of
yes,
water?
figurines.
Salt cellar. What's a salt cellar?
You'll have to ask Lisa next time she comes back on.
Okay.
Place in the ground with salt in it?
But it's before salt
who
and
sells
pepper
salt.
shakers came out. You had like this bowl, tiny bowl thing with a spoon, and you put your salt on your food.
Chaplain Miller would probably remember that.
Oh, he left.
He heard you.
Oh, there he is. He came back in the door.
Anyway, it was just a lovely time. I think all enjoyed to learn about their fellow, friends at the senior center. So that was exciting.
I stopped in and there were some very interesting displays. So that was cool. Yes.
We had a St. Patty's party. It was fabulous. We asked all the participants that wanted to come. It was free of charge, but they had to bring a green dessert. We had 2 tables full of all kinds of dessert. No green Jello. Isn't that weird? It's like what I wanted to bring, but
That is really
I
weird.
thought it was going to be common.
Green Jello is the best flavored Jello.
It was delicious.
I think lemonade cake with green frosting on it. That was just fantastic. So we all got our sweet tooths dealt with that day. In April, we have a lot going on. We have for just celebrating Easter, we're going to do an Easter bonnet contest. So decorate your hats. And then come on down on Thursday, April 5th. We'll actually have a fun parade, some refreshments, and we'll be judging the contests. Who has the cutest bonnet?
The cutest what?
Bonnet.
Okay.
Which it's kind of like piggybacking on, we're going to have a community-wide tea party. We had one, to my knowledge, I hear about, last year, I think, and it was a huge success, so we're actually doing it again. But we are requiring to wear your cute festive hat and a pair of gloves, because it's going to be quite elegant. It's open to the community, 18 years or older. We just don't want any children, because it's going to be, pretty astute. We want to have afternoon tea with adults. So it's a fundraiser for the center, and it's $4 a ticket. You can come down to the senior center and get your ticket. That is right next to this building at 11777 West Drive, or call and, reserve a spot. So that's exciting.
Okay.
Yoga started actually today, and it'll go through the April 24th, and that's 12:30 to 1:30 on Tuesdays. It is $6 a class. The instructor, it's 50-50, so 50% comes back to the senior center and 50 goes to the qualified instructor. Let's see. We started something. I can't even say we. I have a handful of seniors that started this Nintendo Wii exercise class on Mondays. They show up at 9 a.m. on Mondays, and it's this, fast-paced exercise class, and you should see it. It's just fun, and you'll get a workout, so just come on down. It's free. It's just a fun thing, but it will prove your health and fitness. Tea party I already talked about. We are creating a Desert Hot Springs Senior Center cookbook. We are collecting a lot of recipes. We have some fabulous recipes already submitted. So once I get enough for a pretty hefty book, we're going to be publishing that. We will sell it for a minimal fee, just as a fundraiser, but plus to get some of our seniors are excellent cooks, and I think it's important to publish that. So be looking for that and submit a recipe if you're a senior citizen in Desert Hot Springs, because we want to have your recipe in there.
Why don't you tell us about this, the committee that you put together?
Yes, I was just
quite a
moving.
group.
Yeah, I was just moving towards that. The Desert Hot Springs Senior Center we're creating an advisory council. We had our first meeting on Thursday the 15th, and at that meeting, it's just an introduction. It was an overview of the council and kind of the main focus and goals. But we have 10 members currently. 3 are clients, 3 are volunteers, and 2 are just at-large community members. And it was a pleasure to meet them. They were new to me, and it's going to be a dynamic, awesome group. And then 2 city officials, so we're excited about that. We are seeking a couple more applicants. We want to get representation from the Business, Health, and Service Club and faith-based organizations to be involved, to have to get their feedback, input, and just be present on this council. If you're interested, you can call me at 760-329-6411, extension 213, and we will get you an application or the person that you want to nominate to apply for this council. The purpose of the council is to represent the needs of local residents and serve in an advisory capacity to the FSA board of directors and staff, myself. We need to respond to their needs, the needs of the community. And the main intent of the advisory council is to foster community sense of ownership for FSA programs and services. The council will act as a liaison between the center and the community to just strengthen the services we offer to senior citizens. And it went well. So I'm excited.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I have a couple more.
And it was nice of you to step out from behind your telephone to come and join us today, I might add.
Oh, just stop. Okay, so we did a client satisfaction survey. It's an ongoing process, but we really just pushed to have this completed. We actually bribed the seniors with something to have it completed. I forget what.
Yeah,
But,
ice cream. It was free ice cream.
It probably was. But out of we collected 52 in February, and out of all, compiling all that data, we're averaging a 4.7 in client satisfaction out of a possible 5. So our seniors are satisfied, which.
Have room to move up.
Absolutely, always room to grow. Exactly. Yeah. So that's really exciting. And the other thing, if anyone wants to, Family Service Association puts together an annual report, just a snapshot of the agency as a whole, since it's a very large nonprofit. They just published our annual report, and it's quite impressive. Plus, there's an agency video. Either you can come down to the senior center and watch it, or ask me for one of these reports. It's a great snapshot into the organization, because I know there's some people just don't have the proper information about Family Service Association. So I am just opening that door to everybody out there to learn more about us, because it needs to be known.
Very good.
And I have to give a shout out to Tony Soto. He is, I work with his wife. She's lovely. But I hear he is like one of our biggest supporters, and he watches our show and actually gets a little irritated when it's always the old show.
Well, we're working on that, and we're trying to. We've improved quite a bit, haven't we, Jay? Getting the show on quicker.
And even he says so. He notices all the improvements.
Your hard work, Jay, has noticed.
And Joyce Gale, she is the sweetest volunteer, and she's in the senior center. She volunteers about 2 days a week, and she wanted to give you a gift.
I get a gift from Joyce.
I saw the gifts.
Oh
and
my gosh!
I was smiling.
It is a battery-operated bug zapper, and she
Can
wanted.
I use it on people?
I don't think so. You have to read the back. There's a whole slew of.
They write big. That's good.
So there you go.
You got a
from
bug
Joyce.
zapper. Great.
Okay.
Was there any particular method to her madness of giving me a bug zapper?
I just think for a giggle.
Just a giggle.
You could probably use it in your backyard.
Okay, I got a bug zapper.
And because
It's better
saying
than a
you needed
toilet
one.
seat. Begley.
Oh, that was so good. Okay, and then you guys get pencils that say Family Service Association. We were founded in 1953, and I just recently got these to hand out, so you guys get one.
Thank you.
Awesome. Bug zapper and pencil.
Thank you.
And I believe that is all for now.
Is that all you got? Okay. Well, excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I want to talk about a bit of a crime wave we're having, and one particular person is responsible for. And Detective Eddie Cole is here, and I'm trying to get him to come up here, but he's refusing. He's claiming seniority and sending Detective Henson up here in his stead. But Eddie, we will get you on.
I can get out of here, and so they can be on both your sides.
Eddie won't come up here.
What?
He won't. I'll order him next month to come up here. But Eddie, thank you for coming and watching the show. Jim, what have you got for us? This is important, serious stuff. So go ahead.
Okay, I know the last couple of meetings that you guys have had, you've talked about the groper. He's still out there. It's been about a year that he's been out there. He's a white or Hispanic male, 25 to 35 years of age, anywhere from 5'5" to 5'10", 140 to 180, usually wearing a dark hooded sweatshirt, ski mask, or a bandana over his face. He's been attacking females in the Hacienda Avenue residential community from Mesquite to Hacienda Heights. I know we've talked about this. We've recently put out a sketch, and we're looking for feedback. Not this Thursday, the following Thursday, March 29th, 2012 at 6 p.m. at Julius Corsini Elementary School. We're going to be having a community meeting to talk about this, and hopefully we'll be getting some leads based on this meeting.
Okay, is there any new information maybe from last time, or a particular, anything else from last month on the sketch or on Is there anything else you can tell us new from last month?
No, the last month we've had one additional incident. It happened in the driveway of a home. We put out the composite sketch. We're going to be putting out this Thursday. We're going to be giving out another sketch that actually has a bandana on this individual. At least two of the victims see this individual, and they say the sketch matches, pretty good to the subject.
Ladies, if you're in that area, just be aware of your surroundings. Look around you. You may see something and be able to take some action before this person decides to hit again. We don't know when. All we know is that occasionally he comes out and does this and then goes back into hiding. So just be aware if you're living out there, keep your eyes peeled. Please, 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 if you see anybody suspicious walking in that area late at night for no apparent purpose, please call us so we can come out and determine if this is our guy or not. If you don't call us, we'll never know. Okay, is there anything else going on in detectives you want to tell us about? Anybody
No,
else?
just one additional on that. We also have an email address. If you don't feel like talking but would like to give us information through an email, the email address is www.s as in Sam, O as in Ocean, T as in Tom, F as in Frank at dhspd.com.
Okay,
And as always, you can go to our website and submit an anonymous tip as well there.
Correct.
or call dispatch. You can be anonymous when you call there. Just give the information. You don't have to give who you are. Just let us know the information. Okay. Thanks, Jim,
Thank you.
for coming. Before we go any further, by popular demand, I have attorney questions. We did some of these last month, and I got a laugh out of Jim and a giggle out of Aaron, so I have some more. These are questions attorneys have asked in trial. You say the stairs went down to the basement. Yes. And these stairs, did they go up also? Okay. How was your first marriage terminated? Answer, by death. Question, and whose death was it terminated? By whose death was it terminated? Okay, question, can you describe the individual? Yes, he was about medium height and had a beard. Question, was this a male or female? These are attorney questions, questions that attorneys have asked in court. Question, doctor, how many autopsies have you performed on dead people? Answer, all my autopsies are performed on dead people. Okay, one more. Question, you were not shot in the fracas? Answer, no, I was shot midway between the fracas and the navel. There you go. Okay, before I talk about dispatch, dealing with dispatch and calling dispatch, Jim, what have you got for us?
I'm still wishing we hadn't heard those.
Well, it's too late, and it's
Anybody
already
edit
done.
those? We're going to have to edit those before we give them to you.
It's
from
already
now on.
done.
Really?
That was terrible. It was.
All right.
All right, we're going to get off of you.
Citizens Academy, how did that go?
Yeah, the Community Police Academy is great. We just finished up our last night, the Monday. Well, it was yesterday, the 19th. We will graduate about 24 residents.
Excellent.
Next Monday night at our potluck that we do every time after the class, and we invite, if the show should get out before Monday and you are a alumni of the Community Police Academy, please come Monday the 26th at 5:30 at Tedesco and bring your usual potluck specialty, and we'll hand out certificates to the current class.
Okay.
We're just about full for junior police camp, so I'm sure by the time you see this, we'll be full with 20 kids, 8 to 11-year-olds for our 3-day junior police camp.
Excellent.
Which is really nice. They love it, and I mean, I wish we could do 100 of them, but the resources and the size of the facility and all that, and the time allotted for their days off for spring break are small. So excited about that. The other thing, since we talked about spring's a great time to take stock and inventory on your house again for safety and security. If you're going to be cleaning windows and all that stuff, great time to maybe see if they lift out of the track or not as you're doing your vacuuming. If they do, that's a problem.
Yes,
They're
it
supposed
is.
to be anti-lift devices up on top, so get those replaced, or when you put them back in, maybe drill a hole through the aluminum frame and put a pin in there, something to that effect. So check your doors, your sliders on the outside of the house. If you've accumulated stuff Clean it up. Don't give anybody a opportunity to use it as a tool to break into your house or smash a window with, something like that. So
Take inventory of your,
inventory, your
your
lights,
place.
your fixtures and all those things. The automatic lights, sometimes the sensors get covered up with dirt. Clean those as well.
smoke alarms too, huh?
Smoke alarms.
At every time change, which we just had.
Yes. The batteries, check your batteries. I don't know, that's a good point. Usually we wait until the thing starts beeping, but there is a test button. You can push the test button and make sure that it's working properly that
Nothing
way.
worse than a beeping smoke alarm.
No, and is it just me, or it's impossible to tell which one of the 5 is beeping, even though you're standing right there?
It's impossible to tell.
Yeah, something
And
about
it
that.
scares you
It's a
every
physics
time, like there
problem.
is really a fire.
So you jump up and you grab the kids and
Yeah.
So-
I make it a point just to replace my batteries every year. I just go through them all.
you're
and
very conscientious,
replace
Jim.
them. Yes, I do.
Okay,
That's about it. That's all I got.
okay. I almost forgot about our most wanted, but I know there's people out there. In fact, I had somebody tell me about one of these people. I won't say who it was, but we know you're out there still. And Holly Renee Cropper, still wanted by parole. Female, white, 5'3", 115 pounds. Holly, we're going to keep putting your picture on TV until you turn yourself in. She is 31
Two.
October.
Oh.
31 years old, 5'3", 150 pounds, 15 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. Holly Cropper. And of course, we have Yolanda, who is still out there. Yolanda is our single most prolific, most wanted, because we've been putting her on TV for months. And I know you're very close by. Kmart over there, Yolanda, so just come turn yourself in. And in fact, we are going to put a side view of you on the show this time. I have a side view of Yolanda, and I have a front view of Yolanda. Yolanda, we're getting tired of talking about you. Turn yourself in. Kevion Cooper is still wanted. He is wanted for battery with serious injury. He is a male black, 6'1", 150 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. Date of birth, September 3rd, 1994. Kevion, turn yourself in. The others that we did last month, I know a couple of them turned themselves in, so thank you for that, you guys. You saved yourself a lot of grief. And, okay, most wanted is covered. I want to go to calling dispatch. I often get calls from the public asking, and like I said at the beginning of the show, wondering just what it is that they're supposed to do when they call dispatch and how they can get dispatch to send an officer quicker, and how come they're not sending an officer while they're taking the information down, those kinds of questions. Jim, I know you get them as well.
I do.
First off, if you have an emergency, and I'm going to give you an example of some emergencies that you use 911, okay? In progress crimes, it's perfectly appropriate to call 911 if you see a crime in progress. All reports of fire, in progress shootings or stabbings. If you are watching a shooting, please call 911. Thefts in progress or just occurred. Any medical emergencies, traffic collisions with injury. In progress altercations involving a weapon. I would say in progress altercations, period. If you're witnessing a fight, you don't know that weapons are or aren't going to come out, please call 911. Any life-threatening situation that you feel is life-threatening, use 911. Examples of non-emergency calls, loud party or music. Parking violations are not a 911 call, contrary to some. Barking dogs, same thing. Road information, if you want to know the road information, do not call 911. A traffic light is not working. I would say that if you see a major traffic light not working, I don't think it would be wrong to call 911 if you're seeing a problem at the intersection, if it's at 2 Bunch and Palm. So I don't know about that one. If you see any traffic signals that are out that you think are hazardous, you can call 911. Non-injury traffic accidents, don't use a 911 for that. My car was towed, how do I get it back? That is not a 911 call. Past incidents with no suspect present, that is not a 911 call.
What if you think the person in front of you is drunk and they're swerving?
That's a 911 call. CHP gets a lot of those calls. We get them as well. If you see the person in front of you and they're all over the road, get on your cell phone, call 911. The dispatcher will take you through what you need to do. And basically, they're going to tell you to report what you see. Don't follow that person unless it's completely safe to do so. I don't know how many times I've heard people call 911 and try to follow these crazy drivers. And they say, I'm still behind them, I'm still behind them. Mm-hmm. Report it and then back off. So yes, that's a 911 call.
So what number do they call if it's the ones that they shouldn't call 911 on?
329-2904 and then press 2. Did I pass that?
I'm impressed. I was testing you.
329-2904, press 2, and you'll get a dispatcher. So when you need us from the senior center, 329-2904, number 2. What I really wanted to talk about was, okay,
There's something there.
this is the situation, okay? You see something happening and you're excited because if it wasn't something exciting or something to get you in an excited state and your adrenaline's pumping, you're calling the police and you're expecting the dispatcher to immediately send an officer to you. Sometimes they can and sometimes they can't. What you need to know, and this is the important part, while you're calling dispatch and talking to that dispatcher, there are other dispatchers who are sending officers to your call. So if you have your house is getting broken into, you're going to call dispatch. They're going to ask you questions. So you need to know that you're going to be asked questions about what's going on. And they may seem like pointless questions, but they are very, very important to us. At the same time, officers are going to be en route to your house. So while she's asking you for descriptions and your full name and your address and your phone number, she's also at the same time, another dispatcher is sending an officer to your house. So what typically happens is they're asking you questions and you're excited and you want a police officer to come. So you're saying, I don't want to answer these questions, just come to my house. And then you're getting frustrated and callers are getting frustrated, then dispatch gets frustrated and you have a situation that isn't good. So what you need to know is dispatch is going to ask you questions. You need to be calm as you possibly can and answer every single question to the best of your ability, and know that at the same time the police are coming if it warrants a police response immediately. What do you think?
Thorough.
Was that thorough?
It was.
Mm-hmm.
We have had situations where people get so frustrated that they end up hanging up with dispatch with officers on the way. If they would just stay on the line, we could help them, but people get frustrated because it's understandable. You're not calling the police unless something's happening that's dangerous or hazardous, or maybe you just saw somebody break into your house and they're getting away. So you're going to be excited, but please take the time to take a deep breath, answer the dispatcher's questions, and know that the dispatchers are sending officers at the same time.
That's a good reminder to me. Some folks set up a safe place in their house where they can make phone calls like that. You take one of your closets, you change the hollow core door out to a solid core door, and put a deadbolt on it. So you have a place to go to inside with your cell phone, or people have even put phones in there, put a phone line in, so you can call and be safe in the time it takes.
That is an excellent point.
So just a thought.
Okay, that's good stuff. Do we have anything else,
I have
Aaron?
something. So, gentleman came into my office today and just wanted to somehow have me relay to the police department. I guess what his main thing was just to, when police officers deal with elders.
Yes.
Are you guys just, how do you train for that? Or, because it's fragile and maybe somebody's going to have a heart attack, or this man was, obviously disgruntled in some way about how he was treated, not like bad, but just how the demeanor was of the officer.
Would this have been at another agency, or was this actually in our city?
Well, he came into my office, so I'm assuming it was this city.
Okay. How are we trained for that? From day one in the academy, we are trained. In fact, I used to teach victimology in the academy. We're trained on how to deal with people in all kinds of different states of confusion, of maybe they're mentally impaired, they're elderly, they're angry, they're frustrated, they're sad, they're devastated. We actually in the academy do role playing and deal with persons of all types in a learning setting. But then once you get in the field, we have to make sure that our officers are empathetic to every person that they contact. If you have an officer who doesn't know how to deal with that kind of thing, they're not going to last long. And what I would like to know is if he can tell you the situation, maybe we can use it as a training or for the officers that maybe didn't handle it right. But no, we are trained how to deal with persons of every nature and of every condition, and it's too bad that that one didn't go well.
A lot of people come to me with a gamut of problems, so maybe I just forward them. Who can I have him talk to down at PD, or because I can obviously help him, but I did, I'll somehow get the word out and, good food for thought to be reminded of.
If it's a significant event and you feel like it's worth passing on, then let me know what get the information from them, and you can pass it on to Jim or I, or they can always call either Jim, extension 340, or myself, extension 315.
Okay.
I get calls of all kinds, day and night. I was going to get into one of the calls I got today, but I don't want to make somebody angry. But I get calls of all sorts, and I would like to know what happened, and so we can use that to train the officer to better handle it next time.
Okay. I
So-
don't see him very often, but I will encourage that.
A lot of times at the end of the day, or even at the beginning of the day, the officers have handled 12 or 14 calls, and they're not in the best disposition. We try, but sometimes we don't do it. We don't get it right. So
Well, and sometimes some people just don't like to hear what we have to say.
thank you.
And
That's
that-
very true.
Sometimes you have to tell them the truth, and they don't want to hear that, so
Right.
who knows?
Very true. I do want to, before we go, and we're probably running long, I get parking citation appeals come to me. If you get a parking citation and don't feel it was a legitimate citation, then you have a chance to appeal that citation, and there's directions on the back of the ticket in which you do so. They come to me and one of my supervisors. If you have a handicap placard, because this is the one I get most often, if it is not showing and it is not hanging on your rearview mirror, you can be cited for it. If it's on the ground and we don't see it, we can still issue a citation for it, and it's very expensive. Handicap parking are probably the most expensive parking tickets to get. So please, 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 if you have a placard, put it on your rear mirror every single time, because if you write an appeal letter that says, I always put it up there, but this time it fell on the ground, chances are you're going to have to pay the big bucks. So please, if you have a handicap placard, make it visible. And if you leave it on the ground and forget to use it and you get a ticket for that, it's a violation to not have it visible. So chances are your appeal is going to fall on deaf ears. So just wanted to bring that up because it happened today again. We get a lot of those. Mm-hmm. Okay, final words, Aaron.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. Jim.
Thank you.
Okay, really thank you all for watching. And we are on at 7 in the morning and 11 in the morning, 7 at night, and midnight. So we are on 4 times a day, believe it or not. And so you can catch us at any one of those times, and on YouTube as well. So thank you for watching. It's great to have you, and it's great to be here, and have a good April.